There comes a moment in every life when the ground beneath your feet can no longer contain the greatness within you. You were not created to crawl through existence, dragging the weight of doubt, fear, and limitation. You were created to soar, to rise above the noise, to stretch beyond the ordinary, to unlock the hidden chambers of your purpose and let it carry you to heights you never imagined. Purpose is the engine of elevation, the force that separates mere existence from extraordinary living. Too many people drift through life like ships without sails, tossed to and fro by circumstances, expectations, and fleeting desires, yet never anchoring themselves in the reason they were created. Purpose is not just an idea, it is a driving energy, a compass that aligns your decisions, your discipline, and your destiny. It is the unseen fuel that turns ordinary men and women into history makers, trailblazers, and pioneers who change the atmosphere around them. Without purpose, success is hollow, achievement is fleeting, and ambition is nothing more than chasing the wind. But with purpose, even the smallest act becomes significant, even the hardest struggle becomes meaningful, and even the greatest mountain becomes climbable. When you understand your purpose, you stop wasting energy on things that do not align with your destiny. You stop giving your time to relationships that drain you, opportunities that distract you, and habits that sabotage you. Purpose brings clarity. Purpose simplifies the clutter. It acts like a spotlight in the fog of life, illuminating the path that leads to where you are supposed to be. That clarity empowers you to say no to the good so that you can say yes to the great. It shifts you from a life of survival to a life of significance. When you know why you were placed here, you live differently. You carry yourself differently, you speak differently. There is a confidence that comes from knowing that your existence is not accidental, that your life was orchestrated with intention, that you are not here by chance but by design. Purpose also has a way of unlocking strength you did not know you had. It is the fire that keeps burning when the nights are long and the journey is hard. When other people give up because the cost is too high, those who are anchored in purpose find a reason to push through. Purpose makes pain bearable because you know there is something on the other side of it. It makes sacrifice acceptable because you recognize that what you are sowing today will reap something greater tomorrow. Purpose takes away the option of quitting because deep down you know that to quit on your purpose is to quit on yourself, and that is a price too heavy to pay. The engine of elevation means that purpose does not leave you where it found you. It does not allow you to stay small, hidden, or complacent. Once purpose gets ignited inside of you, it pushes you forward, it lifts you higher, it pulls you into rooms you never thought you could enter and conversations you never thought you would have. It demands growth. It demands stretching. It demands that you rise above fear and mediocrity and embrace the higher version of yourself. When you are in touch with your purpose, your life becomes magnetic. People are drawn to clarity, they are drawn to conviction, they are drawn to someone who knows exactly why they are here. Opportunities align themselves with vision. Resources are attracted to passion, and doors begin to open because your purpose announces itself before you even arrive. But let me tell you, purpose will cost you. It will demand that you leave behind the comfort of fitting in so that you can stand out. It will demand that you confront your own doubts, silence your inner critic, and refuse to live by the labels others have placed upon you. Purpose will expose every excuse and strip away every lie that says you are not enough, not capable, not worthy. And when all of that is stripped away, what remains is the truth that inside you is everything you need to soar higher. The greatness you seek is already within you, and purpose is the key that unlocks it. Purpose also births responsibility. To know why you are here is to know that your life is not just about you. It is about the impact you are called to make, the people you are called to serve, the legacy you are called to leave. Purpose keeps you accountable to more than your own desires. It keeps you aligned with the assignment you have been given. It will not let you waste your life on shallow pursuits when there is something eternal, something powerful, something world-shaking inside of you that must be released. Purpose is the engine that takes you from dreaming to doing, from wandering to winning, from existing to elevating. It is the difference between a life that is forgotten and a life that leaves a mark on generations to come. Adversity is the wind beneath your wings, the unseen force that pushes you higher when everything around you seems to be working against you. Most people look at adversity and see it as a barrier, a roadblock designed to stop progress. But in truth, adversity is not the enemy of your destiny. It is the servant of it. Without the resistance of the storm, the eagle would never soar. It is the turbulence that teaches wings their strength, the pressure that shapes character, the weight that builds endurance. Adversity is not there to break you. It is there to reveal you. It uncovers what has been hidden, exposes what has been dormant, and awakens what has been buried under comfort and complacency. Think about the seed buried in the soil. The dirt is heavy, the darkness is thick, and the pressure is suffocating. Yet it is the weight of that soil, the resistance of that environment, that forces the seed to push through and break into the light. Without the pressure, the seed would never grow. Without the struggle, the roots would never take hold. In the same way, adversity becomes the very environment where your potential is activated. The storms you endure are not sent to destroy you, but to equip you with the strength to rise above the ordinary. When life presses you, when challenges surround you, when loss, betrayal, or disappointment come crashing against you, that is the moment when you are being lifted into a higher dimension. Pressure pushes you out of comfort zones you would never leave on your own. Pain has a way of shaking you awake from mediocrity and forcing you to discover the deeper strength within you. Adversity makes you resourceful. It makes you creative. It makes you resilient. It develops a tenacity in you that nothing else can. Ease does not produce excellence. Comfort does not create character. It is the furnace of adversity that refines the gold within. Many want to soar but resist the storm. They want the elevation without the opposition, the promotion without the process, the victory without the battle. But wings are proven in the wind. Faith is proven in the fire. Resilience is proven in the storm. You cannot soar higher if you are unwilling to face what tries to hold you down. The very forces you thought were against you are often the ones positioning you for greater. The betrayal that broke your heart also broke you free from the people who could not carry your vision. The rejection that made you weep also redirected you toward the place where your gifts would be celebrated. The failure that embarrassed you also educated you, equipping you with wisdom that no classroom could teach. Adversity also changes your perspective. It makes you see life differently, value moments differently, and cherish progress differently. When you've had to fight for peace, you protect it more carefully. When you've had to work through loss, you love with deeper compassion. When you've had to climb from the bottom, you recognize the worth of every step. Adversity teaches you gratitude in the midst of the grind. It teaches you to see the hidden blessings that others overlook. It teaches you to look at pain not as punishment, but as preparation. Every tear, every setback, every closed door is shaping something within you that success alone could never create. Adversity strips away illusions. It removes the masks people wear and shows you who truly stands with you when the storm rages. It reveals the strength of your own spirit, because it is only in the fight that you realize what you carry inside. You cannot discover your true capacity by walking through calm fields. You discover it in the stormy seas, where every wave tries to take you under. That is when the warrior within wakes up. That is when the leader within rises. That is when the dreamer within refuses to die. The storm that is sent against you may look like destruction, but in reality, it is construction. It is building you, shaping you, preparing you, lifting you. You will never know how high you can soar until the wind begins to push against your wings. You will never know how strong you are until life demands strength you didn't think you had. Adversity becomes the wind beneath your wings, the very force that takes you to levels you could not reach in still air. It is not there to keep you down. It is there to carry you up. It is not there to silence your voice. It is there to make it louder. It is not there to bury your purpose. It is there to reveal it in its fullest power. You cannot soar while bound to fear, because fear is the invisible chain that keeps wings folded and destinies grounded. Fear whispers in the quiet moments, telling you that you are not enough, that you will fail, that stepping out will only expose your weakness. Fear is subtle, but it is powerful, and it thrives in hesitation. It convinces you to shrink when you were meant to expand, to stay silent when you were meant to speak, to stay seated when you were meant to rise. Fear disguises itself as wisdom, as caution, as practicality, but its real agenda is to rob you of the courage required to step into purpose. You cannot release the power within you while clinging to fear, because fear is a thief, and it steals more dreams than failure ever could. Fear binds you to the opinions of others. It makes you second guess your vision because someone else could not see it. It makes you hold back your ideas because you are worried about ridicule, rejection, or resistance. The voices of doubt become louder than the voice of destiny. But the truth is, fear is nothing more than a shadow. It looks larger than life until you shine the light of action upon it. The moment you take a step in spite of it, fear begins to lose its grip. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward while fear is still trembling in your chest. Every giant that has ever fallen was first confronted by someone who decided to walk toward it even with shaking hands and racing heart. Fear also binds you to your past. It keeps you rehearsing mistakes and reliving failures, reminding you of the times you tried and did not succeed. Fear magnifies yesterday so much that it blinds you to the possibilities of tomorrow. You cannot soar when your wings are chained to regret. You cannot move forward while constantly looking backward. Your past may have shaped you, but it does not define you. Every experience was a lesson. Every setback a teacher, every scar a sign that you survived. The power of fear is broken when you stop allowing your past to dictate your future. Fear thrives on comfort. It convinces you that staying where you are is safer than reaching for more. It tells you not to risk, not to stretch, not to step beyond the boundaries of what feels familiar. But comfort zones are cages. They may feel safe, but they are prisons that disguise themselves as peace. You cannot soar higher while clinging to what is easy, predictable, and familiar. Growth always requires risk. Destiny always demands discomfort. If you are unwilling to step into the unknown, you will never discover the strength, the resources, and the opportunities waiting for you there. Fear may keep you safe, but it will also keep you small. The truth is, fear is a liar. It magnifies the size of obstacles and minimizes the strength within you. It paints worst-case scenarios on the canvas of your imagination until you are paralyzed by things that haven't even happened. It convinces you that danger is everywhere while destiny is nowhere. But when you break free from fear, you begin to see clearly. You realize that the giant was not as big as you thought. The mountain was not as unmovable as it seemed, and the storm was not as endless as it felt. You realize that you were stronger, wiser, and more resilient than fear ever wanted you to believe. You cannot soar while bound to fear, because soaring requires faith. It requires stepping into spaces where the outcome is uncertain, trusting that the same power that gave you wings will also give you lift. It requires believing that even if you stumble, you will not stay down, and even if you fall, you will rise again. Fear says, "What if you fail?" But faith replies, "What if I fly?" Fear says, "You are not ready," but faith declares, "You are more than enough." Fear says, "Stay where it's safe," but faith insists, "Move, because your destiny is not behind you, it's ahead of you." Fear is loud, but it is not final. Fear is present, but is not permanent. Fear can only bind you if you allow it to, and the moment you decide to step in spite of it, its grip begins to break. Vision demands sacrifice, because anything worth building, anything worth birthing, anything worth living for will always cost you something. A vision is not just a picture of where you want to go, it is a calling that reshapes how you live in the present. It requires discipline, focus, endurance, and the willingness to let go of what is comfortable in order to embrace what is possible. Vision stretches you beyond the boundaries of convenience and requires you to make decisions others may never understand. When you are driven by vision, you cannot live like everyone else. You cannot waste time like everyone else. You cannot compromise like everyone else, because your eyes are fixed on something greater. Every dream demands an exchange. To climb a mountain, you must leave the valley behind. To step into destiny, you must release distractions that keep you grounded. To walk into the fullness of purpose, you must lay aside the habits, the mindsets, and even the relationships that keep you small. Sacrifice is not punishment, it is preparation. It is the process of clearing space for the new thing to manifest. It is the pruning of branches so that the tree can bear more fruit. It is the refining fire that strips away what is unnecessary so that what is essential can shine brighter. Sacrifice is the dividing line between those who wish and those who achieve. Many desire the mountaintop, but few are willing to climb. Many want the crown, but few are willing to carry the cross that comes before it. Vision will always test your willingness to surrender. It will ask you if you can let go of immediate gratification for long-term fulfillment. It will ask you if you can endure loneliness when others walk away, because not everyone can see what you see. It will ask you if you can invest hours, months, even years into something that may not bring recognition until later. It will ask you if you can keep believing even when the evidence is invisible, because vision is often birthed in silence before it is revealed in success. Sacrifice also reshapes your identity. It forces you to decide who you really are and what you really value. When you choose vision over comfort, you learn discipline. When you choose purpose over pleasure, you discover strength. When you choose destiny over distraction, you develop resilience. Sacrifice builds the character necessary to sustain the greatness you are reaching for. Because elevation without preparation will crush you, but sacrifice prepares you to handle what you have prayed for. It teaches you stewardship. It teaches you endurance. It teaches you to stand under the weight of responsibility that comes with success. Vision demands sacrifice because the higher you soar, the lighter you must travel. You cannot carry everything and everyone into the next level. Some weights must be dropped. Some baggage must be left behind. Some attachments must be severed, not because they are bad, but because they are not aligned with where you are going. Sacrifice sharpens your focus and streamlines your journey. It makes you leaner, stronger, more determined. It reminds you that not everything can go with you, not everything can grow with you, and not everyone can flow with you. There will be seasons when your yes to vision will sound like no to people, no to opportunities, no to shortcuts. But those very sacrifices are what give your yes its power. Sacrifice is also proof of faith. It is evidence that you believe the vision enough to invest in it, enough to suffer for it, enough to pay the price for it. Faith without sacrifice is empty talk, but faith with sacrifice is fuel. It is one thing to say you have a vision. It is another thing to reorder your life around it. Every great achievement is built on unseen sacrifices, countless hours of labor, hidden tears, uncelebrated efforts. Sacrifice is the soil in which vision takes root and flourishes. Without it, dreams remain fantasies. With it, visions become realities. The truth is, sacrifice will hurt. It will cost you sleep, comfort, security, and sometimes the applause of people. But it will also build something within you that nothing else can. It will make you tougher, wiser, more intentional. It will align your character with your calling. Vision demands that you pay the price because destiny is never discounted. Greatness is never cheap. The only way to lay hold of it is to decide that what you see in your spirit is worth every sacrifice required in the present.